Okay, this is our second lesson on angles and parallel lines. This is a really quick lesson, and yeah, this one's quite straightforward. So this one, we're starting off by talking about angle bisectors. Okay, a bisector sounds scary. It's literally just cutting it in half. That's it. Okay, so an angle bisector is when you take an angle and you split it into two smaller angles that are exactly half. So for example, this angle here, uh, it says bisect angle ABC. So that's meaning like if you were to, the angle that's formed if you start at A, go to B, go to C, that's this angle here. It says bisect angle ABC using a protractor and a straight edge. So you're going to use your protractor, okay, to measure what this angle is here. And you'll measure it. And let's say, for example, that this one was 40 degrees. Okay, so you measure this. Okay, this is 40 degrees. And we need to bisect it. That means splitting it in half. So then you say, okay, what's half of 40? If your numbers aren't as round, you can use your calculator as needed. Okay, so you just say like 40 divided by 2, which is going to give you 20 degrees. So if we wanted to bisect this, we'd leave our protractor here, and then we would go to the 20, okay, on your protractor. And so if this was the 20 on your protractor, and then you'd make a little mark there. That's where 20 is. Then you will take away your protractor, and use the straight edge of your protractor or a ruler to then draw a straight line where the 20 degrees is, excuse me, right like that. And you'll draw a perfectly straight line, unlike me right now, okay, there, which will split this up into two equal halves where this is 20 degrees and this is 20 degrees. Okay, forgive the kind of rough example here. I didn't want to take the time to actually try and video myself using a protractor on my desk or something. So I'm going to trust that you've practiced using the protractor from the last lesson, and that that this should be just a simple extension of that. Okay. This next one here is the exact same idea. You're going to measure it with your protractor. So you're lining up your crosshairs on the vertices there. You've got your protractor doing something like this. Okay, and you measure starting at 0. Remember, you're starting at 0. You're not starting at 180. You're starting at the 0 and counting up, and finding out that this one, I'm estimating here that this one is, let's say, 120. Okay, yeah, sure, 120. So if we want to bisect that, then we would find the halfway point between 0 and 120. So we just say 120 divided by 2, which would give us 60, and that's going to be somewhere around here. You'd find the 60 and make a little mark, and then use a ruler to draw a straight line from here to here. And we've then bisected this, which means we've split this angle in half. This was 120, and now it's two 60-degree angles. Okay, and we have some practice with that. And now we get to something completely different. Okay, so perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines, people get very confused with parallel lines. They can't remember exactly what this is. A perpendicular line is when two lines cross and make a perfect 90-degree angle. Okay, so that is either they are making like a T and it's an exact 90-degree angle. Okay, exact, or they're like crossing completely and making an X where they're making 90-degree angles. So perpendicular lines, we could write out some big fancy definition, but okay, those are perpendicular lines. As long as they're making 90-degree angles, okay, remember that those little squares there mean 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and so on, then those two lines are parallel. Or, excuse me, perpendicular. Hopefully that's the only time I've made that slip. So then this next example just says, determine which of these lines are perpendicular using a protractor. That's just saying which of these two lines when they cross make 90-degree angles. So you'll take your protractor and see, do they make exact 90-degree angles? Sometimes it's easy to tell, but you need to be careful because some are off by just a little bit. These ones here, if you line up with your protractor, we'll find out make an exact 90-degree angle. So as soon as one of these is a 90-degree angle, the rest of them also have to be 90-degree angles. So that means that these two lines are perpendicular. If you measure these ones here, you'll find out it's not quite, and you can eyeball these ones too. This one's more obvious. A 90-degree angle is going to be straight, like a perfect L shape. That one's a little bit big. This one's a little bit harder to tell, but 90 degrees would be right about there. So this one's not perpendicular. These ones are not perpendicular. It's close, but not quite. not quite, and then these ones do make 90 degrees. So that means that line 5 and line 4 are also perpendicular. Some practice, and there you go. That's it for this one, okay? But you need to know that terminology. You need to know that bisecting means splitting an angle in half and how to do that with your protractor. And you need to know that perpendicular lines are crossing and making a perfect 90-degree angle. Okay, so this is a nice, easy one. Good luck on the assignment.